How's it going, guys? Jace here. Today I have a standard deck list for you, and that is the Black Red Mishra deck. This is a really cool deck. Basically, we use a bunch of awesome creatures, really powerful black spells, and a few artifacts. Just a few, but they are really strong artifacts. Obviously, this deck is built around Mishra. You want to be able to just try and meld him with the Dragon Engine, but also like kill your opponent's creatures, cheap removal, just really good, strong creatures all round. And I kind of feel like black is one of the strongest colors in standard right now. You kind of see that before Brothers War came out, and I still think black is probably still one of the strongest colors. It's just the best removal, some of the strongest creatures in the format right now. So we're going through 5 games, best of 1 with this deck, and it is good fun. This is a really good fun deck, strong deck if you want to help climb the ladder. Let's take a look at the deck list. So we're running 2 copies of Cut Down, good cheap removal spell. Not too great in the late game, but there's a ton of creatures that it can take out. Then we have the reprint of Go for the Throat. It's been a while since it's been in standard, actually. But you may be thinking there's a lot of artifacts around. In all honesty, no. There's a ton of non-artifact creatures. This is better, in my opinion, than Infernal Grasp. A loss of 2 life can be quite painful. This is a good, cheap removal spell. Then we have 1 copy of Abrade. Just, it's good. It can kill a decent amount of creatures. But then also being able to destroy a Bankbuster or anything like that is really useful. Then we have 4 copies of Obliterating Bolt. Now, it was a while back we had Lava Coil in standard, which is very similar to this. 2 mana, deal 4 damage to a creature or planeswalker, and if they would die, you exile it. Very strong, very strong. Downside is, though, this doesn't deal with Sheoldred. That is one of the biggest issues. Also, it doesn't deal with Mishra, because they have 5 toughness. But most creatures have 4 or less. Being able to exile, and even deal with planeswalkers, wandering emperors, stuff like that, really strong. Then we're on to 4 copies of Bloodtithe Harvester. This is a great 2-drop. It's been a powerhouse, pretty much. This has been printed. It's just good, right? It gives you some card advantage. Also gives you some built-in removal. And it's not bad. The 3/2 for 2 mana isn't too shabby. Then we have 2 copies of Reckoner Bankbuster. I wouldn't want to play too many. It's not great against all these aggro matchups, but it's nice to have a couple of them. It's really good in a long drawn-out game. But apart from that, it's okay. But I would try and avoid playing too many copies of this in this deck. Then we have 2 copies of Gix. Now, I do like this. I may put a 3rd one in here, but it is very strong. 3 mana 3/3 is okay stats. Then whenever a creature does combat damage to your opponent, you can pay 1 life to draw a card. That in itself is very strong. Really strong. The fact is that you can play Gix, you can animate your crew, your Reckoner Bankbuster, you can attack immediately and get to draw a card and deal 4. Really cool. 7 mana ability on it is not going to come up much. It's okay, but it's not very good. Then we have 4 copies of Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Now this goes with Mishra. Turn into Mishra, lost to Phyrexia. This is an okay creature. 3 mana 2/2 double strike. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. But when you unearth it, it's very good. 5 mana 2/2 double strike. Obviously, it gets given haste from the unearth. Then when it enters the battlefield from the graveyard, you can discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards right in the late game. Absolute powerhouse. You unearth. Then we have 4 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Probably one of the best cards in standard right now. It just does everything. Gives you a creature, mana ramps you, gives you some card advantage. And then once it flips, you can get some real good value out of your creatures. Then we have 3 copies of Sheoldred. It is a 4-drop. It is powerful, but I would only play 3. 4 seems a bit excessive because we are running 4 copies of Mishra. This is great. Gives you some life gain. Having a big creature with Death Touch as well. If left unchecked, this will just run away with the game. So it's very tough to defeat a Sheoldred. Then we have 4 copies of Mishra. This is what the deck is built around. Gives you some life gain as well, similar to Sheoldred. And a 3/5. It's a big, chunky body, and it's really hard to shift. You need to remove it, right? You play Dragon Engine, you play Mishra. If your opponent, you have to remove one of them. And same if you unearth the Dragon Engine, you have a Mishra on turn 4, is backbreaking. If this ever melds, can be quite tricky to meld it. There's a ton of removal around, but if you do, it is just an absolute powerhouse. Most of the time, you just wipe your opponent's board or kill their creatures, make them discard loads of cards. Very strong. Then we have 2 copies of Gix's Command. Now you could play Burn Down the House, but I wanted to try out this card, and now I do like it. It allows us to kind of clear out the board, means we don't have Meat Hook Massacre anymore. Also allows us to bring some creatures back from our graveyard, which is quite relevant, bringing back Sheoldreds. Kind of acts as, similar to the Legendary Land. So it's very similar. We can bring stuff back. It is pretty good. Only 2 copies because it is 5 mana. Like I say, Burn Down the House is also really good. So you could say 2 copies of this, 2 copies of Burn Down the House. But we're going to try this out today. Then we have 3 copies of Invoke Despair. This is just such a good card. I would play a 4th, but it is very mana heavy. 5 mana, 4 black. It's not the best. There's a lot of weenie decks around, a lot of small go wide creature decks. This is quite weak against. If you're playing against a deck similar to this, then Invoke Despair is very strong. Very good in mirror matches or anything like that. This is a great card. Being able to deal with Planeswalkers, enchantments in black is very good as well. And being able to draw cards. Sometimes you just cast this for 5, deal 6 and draw 3. You know, really, really good. So good card to top end. And then we have a bunch of land. We've got some basics. We've got swamps. We've got mountains. We've got the legendary land, get back some Planeswalkers and creatures. We have some dual lands, which are, you know, pretty good. And then we've got a couple of cycle lands. We don't need the blue mana. But these are really good late game. You just want to cycle it. If you top deck it and it doesn't feel good. And they help fix your mana early on. So there's the deck list. We're going to play 5 games of best of 1. We're going to see how it goes. I do really rate this deck. And the deck list is in the description, guys. So make sure to go and try it out for yourself on Arena. And without further ado, let's jump into the games. Okay, right. Let's take a look at our opening hand. It's pretty good. We've got lands. Removal, early spells. Just need to hit a third land drop and we're pretty much good to go. We've got 2 4-drops, 3-drop. Pretty decent hand. We're going to lead off probably with the Ridge, mainly because I don't think my opponent's going to be playing anything I need to kill with the cut down, but you know, it's a pretty good hand to be fair. One thing I do like about Mishra is it gives us some life gain in colours, which I mean Sheoldred does as well, but very strong hand to begin with. I think our opponent might be mulligan. Pretty cool card sleeves. That's pretty cool Nicol Bolas card sleeves there. Okay, right, so we are going first. Our opponent did mulligan, right, so we're going to lead off with the Ridge. Then we'll go with the Harvester. Okay, right, so our opponent is here. Okay, right, so Generous Visitor. Okay, we're going to lead off with this. Gix is a good draw, but we really need that third land. We might have to sacrifice his blood token to find one. Okay, so we're basically playing against... Okay, yeah, we are gonna... We're gonna discard... Probably the Dragon Engine. We can unearth it later. Hopefully draw a land? Yes. Okay, we're gonna cut down... the Generous Visitor, I think. Because that can get out of hand quite quickly. I mean, it would have been better if we actually naturally drew the third land, because then we probably could have played Gix to try and get them to block, but this might get out of hand really quickly though. With this type of like enchantment style deck. That's why I got rid of the Generous Visitor, because otherwise things are going to stack pretty scary. We don't want to happen. That's fine, we'll take 4. Now, unfortunately we're at cut down range, but I think we're going to have to go with the Mirror Breaker here. We've got to try and get that mana going. Just get him for some damage. So that transforms next turn. We have a better removal spell. Cut down's not quite doing it here. Sheoldred's a good one as well. If we get... Well, if we draw a land... Well, if we don't draw a land, we're going to tackle the Goblin anyway, because we need that 4th mana. We can play Sheoldred. Having a creature with Death Touch is really good in this matchup. And obviously the life gain is pretty good as well. We're going to have to discard. I think it's probably going to have to be the Gix and the cut down. Try and dig for a land. Cut down's looking pretty weak right now, unless they play a creature which we could kill. Okay, that's a pretty good one for us to kill. Nope, another block. Okay, so now... Okay, that's fine. We're going to get rid of this and this. We're going to get rid of Gix, and we're going to get rid of the Bankbuster, because we can still use Cut Down. We did draw a land. We drew another Bankbuster. Okay, so we're going to play the lands. We're going to attack with both. And then we're going to cut down that. Get rid of that. We can deal 5. We can play Sheoldred. Could have played Mishra first to get some of that life gain, but having a big Death Touch blocker is really appealing. There we go. Nice. I think the Sheoldred won it for us there. Okay, on to game 2 now. It's pretty decent opening hand. Not quite as good as the first one, but that's still pretty good. I mean, we haven't got any removal. I mean, we've got Invoke Despair, but it's 5 mana. It'll take a while to use, but our opponent goes first. It's not the greatest hand to be on the draw with, mainly because Bankbuster is really good when you're on the play. Same with the Fable. But having a Dragon Engine is pretty good. We're gonna keep this anyway. Hopefully our opponent doesn't come out of the gates fast, because if they do, we've got a really bad hand. But with a Rafine's tower starting us off, it's not really bad for us. Still going to be an aggressive deck. Again, everyone's with the cool sleeves. They're pretty cool. Okay, we drew Sheoldred. It's pretty good. We're going to probably be playing the Bankbuster on turn 2 unless we draw a 2-drop. They're not going to play anything. They're going to keep up counterspell. No, we've got some zombie action coming in. An interesting one. Dealing us a fair bit of amount of damage. Now we're going to probably play the Fable next rather than the Dragon Engine, mainly because we want to be able to dig for more mana. We've got quite an expensive hand at the moment. We can fire off these Invoke Despairs. We should be okay. Although, the decaying zombies is going to be an issue. Because I can just sack them to the Invoke. Let's see what our opponent does. Do have a cheap removal spell. Off the top. Maybe a cut down or a go for the throat. Esper zombies. Interesting. Yep. Take 3 there. There's like an aristocrat style deck by the looks of it. Okay, let's play Fable the Mirror Breaker. Well, now we really need some land. We really need some mana now. Our opponent's got a pretty good board against us. Do we block? Probably not. Because we really need the mana. But if we do get the mana, then we might just maybe fire off some of these invokes. Okay, they don't attack. Maybe they don't have removal. Maybe they don't have removal. Yeah, a hand though. Okay, so they're holding up counter magic. We're going to discard a Dragon Engine. And probably that's it. Probably discard a Dragon Engine, draw another card. Another Sheoldred. Okay. I think we're just going to fire off the Sheoldred here, I think. Means we've got 2. They've probably got a counter spell. That's fine. Maybe like a... Make it disappear? No? Okay. Do we attack with the Goblin? Yeah, we do. We need the mana. Get that mana going in. Because then next turn, we do have the Evoke, but the problem is making tokens, so that is an issue. That is a big problem. Wandering Emperor, okay. Well, we got the token, that's what we needed. We wanted the treasure token mainly. Rare token, that's fine. Negative trade. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe they might have a way to deal with the Sheoldred, maybe? Who knows? Hopefully not. We can do some life gain. Okay, they lose some life there. They go... Okay, yeah, I'll say if they go for the kill, we can animate the Bankbuster. At least have a good blocker. They might have a removal for the Bankbuster now. Maybe. Okay, now the Brutal Cathar. Again, we need a good amount of removal. We don't have one yet. Our hand's very, very expensive. The Invoke Despair is going to be really good because it's going to get rid of the Wandering Emperor. Probably going to get rid of a zombie token. But nothing else. Interesting. Okay, well we're blocking the zombie. We'll take 3. Because it has Death Touch. No Death Touch and won't be a problem. I'm gonna struggle now. We really need to get rid of stuff. We'll play another Sheoldred. Doesn't really do much. We need to get rid of this Wandering Emperor as well. Okay, let's do that. Let's play an Invoke Despair. And we'll see what we can draw. Not looking good for us though. We're actually struggling. We need removal. My hand's very, very expensive. Very bad with the token generated from our opponent. That kind of got us there. And especially with this aristocrat pinging us off each time. If we have removal, I think we're dead, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're basically dead. We're not quite dead. But we're going to be. We don't have no Meat Hook Massacre. We have no board sweepers, so when it comes to situations like this, very, very difficult. Maybe in our deck we could play maybe like a Burn Down the House or something. Would be really good. I kind of feel like we have to block. the token. Oh, he's going to make another zombie token anyway. The Invoke Despair is just really bad. Oh, we're going to take 3. Go to 4. Not looking good for us. And a Thalia as well, just to make things even harder. Yeah, we really, really needed removal. We just drew no removal early, like pinpoint removal, to get rid of this really early on. Or even actually this. So I kind of feel like we are pretty dead here. I mean, we could play a land. We could play the Invoke Despair. He gets rid of a zombie token. And then nothing else happens. We could play 2 creatures. We can block, block, block. He'll die. Yeah, unfortunately we've lost this. Oh well. Needed the early game removal though. Didn't see any. We needed some cheap removal where it was a cut down or a go for the throat. Or just something that can deal with it. We've got so much cheap removal in the deck, but unfortunately we just didn't draw any. Okay, on to game 3 now. So we're 1-1 with the deck. Again, this is a good hand. Doesn't have anything for the first 2 turns. Is quite slow. But we'll keep it just because we actually got stuff we can cast. We got Dismal Lands. Again, downside is very expensive hand. If we get overwhelmed by small creatures, we pretty much lose. That's the downside with this deck. It doesn't do very well against decks that go wide very, very quickly. I mean, Gix's Command, good draw. To prevent that. I mean, last game, that would have been fantastic. That would have been like an absolute blowout card. Okay, we're going to lead off with Fable. Yeah, that would have been fantastic last game. If we had that, it would have been game over. Because we would have been able to just destroy all their creatures. Go for the throat. Okay, we're facing against mono black, so expect lots of Invoke Despairs. Okay, right. Do we want to discard anything? Probably this. Seems kind of weak. We'll discard the Gix's Command. Oh, Mishra, that's a good draw. Okay, so here we kind of want to play this just in case they have a removal spell. And we don't really mind if they kill that because it's got Unearth. Sheoldred. Unfortunately, we can't kill Sheoldred with this. It's 4 damage. We do have 2 of them, so we could double, but it's probably not very good. What we'll do, we're going to swing. And hopefully they'll block. They might not, they might just take 4. We'll see. We don't mind if it dies. They take the... Oh, they don't. Okay. That's fine. Let's go with... Now, they're probably going to have an Invoke Despair. That's fine. We're going to... We're probably going to go with Sheoldred. We'll go with Sheoldred ourselves. Just try and outweigh it a little bit. Force them to have the removal spell. Probably the best point of action. Okay, and they conceded. Alright, we'll take that. We'll take that any day. That was a quick, easy win. Nice, 2-1. Okay, right. We're 2-1. We're into game number 4. I don't know why our opponent conceded so quickly. This is a pretty good hand. We've got 3 land, we've got a 2-drop, we've got a 3-drop, we've got a 4-drop, and we've got a 5-drop. So, this is actually a really good hand to lead off with. No early game removal, like no cheap interaction just yet, but... Okay, we're playing against Mire red, so this can be quite tricky. Luckily, we do have a sweeper. We're going to lead off with a blocker at least, rather than the Bankbuster. The Bankbuster's good, but it's not very good against aggro matchup, so, you know, not very good in this matchup either. We just want bodies on the ground, block, force our opponent to use their burn spells on our creatures, like to play with fire right there. That's what we want to see. Mishra's really good in this matchup, because Mishra actually has some life gain. Okay, we're going to play the Fable. But yeah, Mishra's really good in this matchup, just because it's got a decent toughness, gives us some life gain. Gix's Command's going to be really good. This is a strong card. This is a really strong card. We're not going to block though. We're going to take 4. I know it's a lot of damage, but we're going to get rid of the Bankbusters pretty bad. We're going to get rid of Gix. We don't want to lose life. Okay, still no mana, no land, so we'll attack. And we'll play a Mishra. Get a big threat on the table. We've got 2 cheap removal spells. This is what we wanted in the other games, but we got them now. Nice to see go for the throat back in standard. So right now, I mean, their creatures aren't really worth killing. I'm not going to lie. Monetary Swift Spear. Okay. Reckless Impulse. Okay, that gets prowess. That's going to be pretty strong. Oh, he hit 2 lands. That's tough. That's tough. That's not very good. Yep, we'll take 2. Take 2 indeed. Okay. Got another cheap blocker. It's a lot of damage though. Still didn't hit a land. still didn't hit a land. Okay, so I think we're going to Obliterating Bolt this. Get this out of the way. We're going to attack. We're going to gain some life. And then we're just going to probably just pass the turn. That's fine. We'll end turn here. I'm really tempted. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're all mana short. See what they play. Squee. Yeah, that's getting killed. Straight up, that's getting killed. We're gonna deal with that now. We are not taking a ton of damage. Get rid of that. This is just a red source. A red or artifact you control. Oh, okay, so that's going to be a 4/4. That's an issue. An issue. We need land, though. Okay, attack it with a chicken. Thing is, Mishra outweighs it. Outscales it quite well. Shame the Go for the Throat can't deal with this. Maybe we should have kept the Abrade for that. Sheoldred. That is a good one. That was a good one, but I think... What do we do here? Do we play a Bloodtithe Harvester? Yeah, I think we do. We're going to play one of these. We're going to create another copy of one of them. And then we're going to kill this, attack with Mishra. Deal with that. Attack with Mishra, gain 1 life. There's no real good blocks for them. I mean, actually, to be fair, he could block. His Mishra's Foundry would die, but not really worth it. Okay, now we got to deal with chicken. We're on 10. Still need a land. Still really, really need a land. Squeeze. Ah, he's back again. That's a lot of damage. It attacks for 1/1. Okay, we're going to trade here with Squee. We'll take 4, go to 6. It's not looking good. So we can attack for 5, 6, 7. That's a good draw. I think that's game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll see. We'll tackle both and see what they do. Yep. Go 2. Nice. Hopefully Sheoldred will win it for us. Yep. That's fine. Don't know if they got like an instant speed 5 damage spell. Let's see what they got. They got 8 damage in instant speed spells. They found 8 damage. Just need 2 lightning strikes would do it. Oh no. Have they actually found it? Have they actually found it? Oh, that was so close. I was like, 2 lightning strikes would do it. 3-1 going into the last game now. If we win, we get ranked up as well. Let's get it. Last game. All right, coming into game number 5 now. So let's take a look at this hand. So it is good because we've got, we've got 2 lands, we've got a lot of 2 drops. But we need land. We're going to keep it. We are on the play. We might lead off with the Bankbuster. But if we draw a land, we're doing really good because this is actually good, pretty good, decent hand. Okay, so we didn't draw a land, so we're going to lead off with the Bankbuster. Hopefully draw some cards. A lot of 3 drops there. 2 3 drops, 2 2 drops. Removal though. Okay, we did draw a land. This is really good for us. So we're actually going to lead off with the Dragon Engine because we want to be able to apply some pressure. Having a 2/2 double strike is really good, especially if we can follow up with Gix if they play a blocker. Don't play a blocker, it's fine. Okay, they're going to exile it. Alright. I think we lead with Gix. We're going to animate this. Game for 4, draw cards. Not bad, not bad. Yes, please. We did draw a land. Nice, we needed that. We really needed that land. That was good to get in for 4 damage as well. Oh, they got another exile. Okay, they're stuck on mana. Okay, we'll just play Mishra. Do the same again. Animate. Swing. Taking a lot of damage. They are stuck on land. We do have a Mishra as well. Unfortunately, they did exile the Dragon Engine. We draw 1 more land. We can Invoke Despair wherever they play. Oh. Okay. I think plan of action here is to play the Bloodtithe Harvester. Animate the Reckoner swing. That's what we're going to try and do. Opponent is stuck on land though, which is good for us. Which is really good for us. So let's animate. They might get rid of it, but if they do, that's fine. We'll attack with both. Now what do they exile? Tap 2 creatures. Okay, in that case then, we'll draw a card. Sure. We will draw a card. And our opponent conceded. They did get stuck on land, so not bad. 4-1 with this deck, and we did rank up to Plat 3 as well. We will take that. Alright, not bad. 4-1. Alright, so we went 4-1. That's not too bad. I have to admit, this deck is pretty good. It does struggle with the weenie decks though. That's one of the things I was saying in the intro. It can struggle with weenie decks. It doesn't really have the best go wide, you know, removal. So we're playing Gix's Command. Maybe Burn Down the House could be pretty good. Just something that can kind of deal with small creatures. That's what we've really struggled with. I mean, the cheap removal would have been good. We didn't draw any, unfortunately, but that was the game we lost. All the rest, we kind of run away with the game. We put our opponents in situations where they can't really carry on. It was easier just for them to just concede as we came out of the gate fast. Mishra is very good and Sheoldred is very good against the aggressive decks to get that life gain and basically just be these big road blockers. So they are pretty good. Overall, I would say this is a really strong deck in the format right now. You can tweak it, maybe add some more copies of Gix, maybe get rid of the copy of Abrade. Just play around with different, you know, copies. Maybe drop a Mishra, add a third Gix's Command, or maybe add it in a Burn Down the House. Just change it up a little bit and give this deck for a try yourself. Like I say, it is in the description below. But that is it from me in this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.